Hello my friends and welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna teach you a few things. I'm gonna give you a bit of information before launch. I'm gonna try to focus the video on tips for beginners, everything any beginner should know about 3v3s, and I think that's it. Let's get into it. The first tip I want to give you is about unlocking your awakening skills. A lot of people don't know about this and they are surprised when they cannot use their awakening in the arena. The thing is, you need some resources in order to use your skill, and you get these resources pretty easily actually. These resources are called chaos shards and you find them at the general merchant. They are pretty cheap, they're only costing you silver or shillings or whatever you want to call them. I would recommend every new player to get around 100 or so every time, and when they run out just buy some more. This will enable your awakening skill and it will make it much easier for you to actually do damage in the arena. Just look out for this icon on the map and this is where the general merchant is. The next tip I want to tell you is to increase your resolution to widescreen. This will allow you to actually see more of the battlefield in the arena, and this is something everybody is doing. That's at least everybody that's serious about PvP. I also increased my UI scale to 110. That I feel like it actually letting me see and actually have a easier time reading text and so on and so forth. It's really good. You don't have to do it obviously. In the next tip I'm gonna talk to you a bit about the camera in arena. The idea is that you want to always fight your enemies and keep your enemies to the sides of your screen. This is where you're gonna see the most, and this is how you're gonna actually be able to avoid abilities as much as possible. As you can see, I'm fighting two sorceresses here, and I try to always keep them at the sides of my screen so I can see more. By having the top score at the top of the screen, it means that it's actually blocking a lot of the screen, and having your enemies there means that you are gonna get hit off screen by things that you can't even see. You can see it in this example here. I'm actually going down screen and the enemies are basically under the scoreboard. It's a really bad position for me. I shouldn't be in that position. Always try to fight from the sides. That's gonna allow you to see the most. Just keep your enemies on the sides of your screen so you see them, and that's basically it. Let's move on to the next tip. The next tip I want to tell you about is actually about the fire. I want you to know exactly how it works. The idea behind the fire is to actually do damage to you, and it works the same way on both sides. So even though you are on your own fire or the enemy fire, is not gonna matter, it's not gonna be different. The idea is that you're gonna take 10% damage of your current HP. This means, however, that the damage is gonna decrease over time as your HP goes lower and lower. This will allow you to actually stay in the fire without dying for as long as you want. This is actually really useful when you're trying to bait people into the fire. A lot of people are actually afraid of going into the fire, and this way you can secure that you're not dying, and in the clutch situations like the last few seconds of the match, it can actually be really useful, especially because people think that you actually die in the fire, which is incorrect. Now, while we are still in the fire, I want to tell you a little bit about the next tip here. Now, this one comes into play at the last 60 seconds of every match, and it is a buff that you get at the end of the match. This buff is actually increasing your critical rate and also increasing your damage by 20%. The 25% critical chance increase is really big, and actually the 20% damage is also really big. This is in order to make the kills actually happen at the end of the match and make it so it's not gonna end up in a draw. Make sure that you're actually using this buff as much as possible. You're gonna get it automatically on every single map, and this is when you're gonna try to do your burst and actually get as many kills as possible in order to, of course, win the match. Now, the next tip I want to tell you about is actually only usable in this arena in particular. This is the underground arena, and this one is actually a special one because this arena spawns two items on the floor in the middle of the arena. One of them is an explosive and the other one is a heal. The explosive on itself is not that big of a deal. It does AoE damage on the floor, you throw it, it does damage, not that big. On the other hand, however, the heal is actually pretty big. It heals you for half of your HP. It's actually insane. It looks like a bit of, I don't know, gelatin or something on the middle. You just pick it up, instantly heals you, really good. Make sure you keep an eye on the middle of this map. It's gonna help you if you actually get to heal yourself as much as possible. This arena is a bit unbalanced because of that. A lot of people are actually not liking the arena because of this. They are seeing it as a clutch, but personally I would make use of it. This is how you're gonna win anyway, so just go for it, boys. Now for another tip that actually helped me a lot in the beginning is to pay attention to the red markers on the floor. What I mean by that is actually the fact that a lot of the AoE's abilities that are casted on the floor actually have a red marker that comes up before the ability is even up. As you can see here on the floor, you can see that the red marker appears before that crystal, and I know that I shouldn't be in that area, which means that I will just move away and dodge. This is the only way to differentiate the enemy spells from your own team spells, and this is gonna really help you to actually move around the arena and actually move in such a way that you are not taking free damage. A lot of the new players are actually just gonna walk into a lot of spells and they have no idea what's going on, and this is the only way to really figure out where you should be in the arena and how not to get caught in pretty obvious spells. The Blaster in particular is gonna be a class that's gonna make use of a lot of this, so you're gonna see a lot of new players actually walking into Blaster abilities and they're just gonna get one-shotted and say that Blaster is OP. Here is an example of somebody that doesn't pay attention to the red circles. As you can see here, the Demonic just walks into my ability, which means that I can just knock him up. Because he has no dodge roll and no get up, I can just do free damage to him, and this is gonna ensure that he's basically dead. Yeah, sure, he gets away, but he's so low HP and he took so much damage that he shouldn't even have. Knowing this pretty basic mechanic is gonna make you improve even faster, and this is gonna actually help you compared to just walking into everything and taking damage from everything, and at least you're not gonna feel like you're gonna be on the floor all the time. Another thing that's gonna help you with not being on the floor all the time is knowing that the fact you actually have two ways of getting out of abilities. The first way is the dodge, that's obviously the space. The space bar is just a normal dodge, it gives you super armor, and it means that you can actually walk through abilities. So for example, if some abilities are aimed towards you, you can actually dodge through them and avoid them entirely that way. Another way of doing this is also by getting up. They're on separate cooldowns, and when you hit the floor after being knocked up, you're gonna be able to dodge out of the way. The distance is a bit smaller than the normal dodge, but it's very important. Of course, you can couple them up together, so you can just get up and then dodge away, or of course, like you can see in the clip, I just get up and dodge back into them, so I can knock up and peel for my team, which results in a free kill there for myself, and of course the support from the, what is it called, the Artillerist, I think is for the EU, really helped with this one. You can see your get up and dodge cooldown just above your abilities, so as a new player I highly recommend you to actually keep track of this and actually use them defensively more than offensively. This is gonna keep you from just sitting on the floor the entire game, and personally as a melee beginner I would definitely make sure that I have them both up before engaging into the enemy team. This helps you a lot and actually keeps you from just sitting on the floor the entire match. That's gonna be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this useful or just want more of it, please like the video. This is how I get motivated to do more. There is gonna be more Lost Ark content, and I will see you next time. I love you. Bye bye.